Hello everyone, welcome to Neso Academy. In the previous lectures, we have covered different types of operators. We have understood arithmetic operators, conditional operator, comma operator, increment-decrement operators. Apart from this, we have also understood relational operators, logical operators, bitwise operators, assignment operators. There are many different types of operators we have already covered. Now we are in this lecture, and the name of this lecture is Introduction to Namespaces. In this lecture, we will understand the concept of namespaces, which is important for us to understand because in the next lecture, we will cover an important operator in C++, which requires the knowledge of namespaces. That's why this lecture. So without any further delay, let's get started with this lecture and let's see what are the topics. The first topic of this lecture is the naming conflict. First, we will understand the concept of the naming conflict and we will understand where it occurs and when it occurs. Then we will move to the second topic to understand the concept of the namespace. After this, we will understand the std namespace, which is quite common to use in C++ programs. So these are the topics we will cover in this lecture. Let's start with the first one, which is the naming conflict. So what is the concept of the naming conflict? In order to understand this concept, let's consider a situation. Let's say we are writing a project, and within that project, we have defined two files, a.cpp and b.cpp. These files are part of the same project. Now let's say the code within the a.cpp looks like this. We have added this code. We have included the iostream header file and we have also defined the print function. Within this print function, we have written this stdcout statement with this message that we want to display on the screen, that is, this is from file A. We know that when we call this print function, then this message will be displayed on the screen. So this is the code of a.cpp file. In the same way, we have written the code for b.cpp file as well. This is the code of the b.cpp file. iostream header file is included and the print function is also defined. Within this print function, stdcout statement is written with this message, this is from file B. When we call this function, this message will be displayed on the screen. Now we know that we have defined these two files and they are part of the same project. If we compile these two files separately, then they will be compiled successfully. There will be no problem at all. But the problem occurs when linker comes into the picture. Linker is the software program which has the job of combining the object files obtained from the compiler into a single executable file. Linker will combine the object files of these files and then it won't be able to do so. It will produce the linker error. Why it is the case? Why it would not be able to combine the object files of these two files? This is exactly what we now need to understand. We now need to figure out why are we getting this linker error. We know the job of linker is to combine the object files of the files within the same project. These files are part of the same project. We will get the equivalent object files because compilation is successful. Now, when linker tries to combine the object files, then it would not be able to do so because in these two files, we have functions with same name. Here we have what is called the naming conflict. We have same names and therefore they conflict with each other. That's why we are getting naming conflict here. Due to naming conflict, linker would not be able to produce an executable file from the object files of these two files. Because in the same file, we cannot have two functions with same name. That's the problem. So we will get the linker error. Because of the naming conflict, we are getting the linker error, and therefore it is important to resolve this issue. And this issue can be resolved with the help of a namespace. This is exactly what we will understand in the next topic. For now, I hope it is clear to you what is the meaning of the naming conflict and when it occurs. So with this, we are done with the first topic, that is the naming conflict. Now let's move to the second topic to understand the concept of the namespace. As I have already mentioned this, to resolve a naming conflict, we use namespaces. But what exactly a namespace is, that is what we need to understand. A namespace is a container that allows grouping identifiers such as variables, functions, classes, etc. under a unique name to avoid naming conflicts. So think of a namespace as a container that allows us to group different identifiers such as variables, functions, classes, and other entities. And the best part is that we can give that container a unique name. And the container is the only thing that the linker will see. Therefore, there will be no naming conflicts because the container name is unique. If we define multiple namespaces, then the names of those namespaces are unique. Therefore, there will be no naming conflict. So, with the help of a namespace, we can avoid naming conflicts. To understand this even better, let's consider the a.cpp file and b.cpp file. We will modify those files, and this time we will include namespaces. Here is the a.cpp file. This is the modified file. Here we can observe that I have defined this namespace with the name file A. Please observe the syntax here. We first need to specify the keyword namespace. Then we need to provide the name of the namespace, which I have provided as file A. And within parentheses, I have included this function definition. This is the print function. In the same way, I have modified b.cpp as well. Here I have defined this namespace file B, and within this namespace, I have added this code of the print function. Now, linker will observe only these namespaces, not the functions within them. And we can observe these namespaces are unique, therefore, there is no naming conflict. I hope this is clear to you. This means linker would be able to combine the equivalent object files and is capable of producing an executable file from them. Therefore, there will be no problem at all. Now let's say we want to call these functions which are available within these namespaces. For this purpose, first we need to specify the name of the namespace, then we can provide the name of these functions. Let's define a new file with the name main.cpp, and within this file, let's define our main function. Here is the main function, and this is the name of the file main.cpp. In this main function, I'm calling the print functions of these two namespaces. Here you can observe the syntax. First, I have specified the name of the namespace, then the two colons, and then the function which I want to call. I want to call the print function which is available within file A namespace. This is the namespace and the print function is part of this namespace, therefore I can call this. And in the same way, I have called the print function which is available in the namespace file B. This is what we can observe. These functions will be called successfully and we will get the output. This is from file A, this is from file B. We are getting this message from this print function and we are getting this message from this print function. I hope this is completely clear to you. And you can observe there is no naming conflict at all. Although the name of these functions are same, but their namespaces are different. So there is no naming conflict. So in this way, we can avoid naming conflicts with the help of namespaces. And with this, we have understood the concept of namespace as well. This means we are done with the second topic also. Now let's move to the third topic to understand the STD namespace, which is quite popular and widely used in C++ programs. The STD namespace stands for Standard Namespace. The full form of STD is standard. That's why STD namespace stands for Standard Namespace. It is the namespace which is already defined for us, and it contains standard library tools like cout, cin, string, and many other tools. These tools are part of STD namespace. We are well familiar with cout and cin. These are part of STD namespace. There are other library tools as well which are part of STD namespace. So when we want to use these tools, we know that we need to specify the STD namespace first. Now let's take an example to properly understand this. Here I have included the IOStream header file, and within this main function I have defined variable val with value 10. Here is the std cout statement which allows us to print the value of this variable which is 10. Here we can observe that cout is the object which is available in the std namespace. We have been using std cout in this course from the very beginning. But we haven't realized this, that std is the name of the namespace. So this is the namespace or the container which is holding cout object. So if we want to use cout, we need to specify std. That's why we were specifying std : cout from the very beginning. Now when we execute this program, we will get 10 on the screen. I hope this is clear to you. So this is the std namespace, and this is how we can use a specific tool from the std namespace. Now I would like to mention that this is not the only way to use a specific tool from the std namespace. If we want, we can eliminate or avoid writing std : before a specific object which is part of std namespace. This can be done when we specify this line at the top, using namespace std. With this line, we are telling the compiler that in this program we are using this specific namespace called std. Now, there is no need to specify std : before this cout object. We can directly use this cout object. That is what I have mentioned here. There is no need to apply std : before cout object. Now when we execute this program, we will get the same output 10. There is no need to specify std : because we are already telling the compiler that we are using the std namespace. Also, I want to mention this, that following this practice is highly discouraged among C++ developers. The reason is quite simple. Here, when we type out std : before an object, we properly specify that that object is part of std. So we are explicitly mentioning this, and it is always good to explicitly mention which object is part of which namespace. That's why it is recommended to mention std::: before the object which is contained within it. Also, if let's say we try to define a specific identifier within our project, and that too with the name which is already available in std, then this will cause naming conflict. If let's say we try to define a function with the same name cout, then there will be a naming conflict. Compiler will get confused. This will cause problems, and therefore this practice is highly discouraged. I hope this is clear to you. So with this, we have understood the std namespace also. This means we have covered this topic properly, and we are done with this lecture. Okay friends, this is it for now. Thank you for watching this lecture. I will see you in the next one.